Greetings, I'm Bairnt and welcome to the One-Stop Co-op Shop. We're continuing our playthrough of Machina Arcana. We are going to be going into Chapter 3. We made it there at the end of our last video. Now this board is pretty much done, so we'll probably be moving into this board and seeing what's there. Also, we're going to continue on to see what happens in our chapter. But before we do that, there is one thing I want to mention. We actually got a hold of this as one of our items when we got it in a chest, I believe. And I actually just said, oh, we're just going to go and equip it. It's going to be great. We're going to be able to equip our ranged weapons for one. This is an augment. This is not actually a piece of apparel. There is no symbol showing that it's a piece of apparel, like something like this. So I should not have just been able to equip this. I would have had to upgrade, use the cards, or use an action to upgrade to be able to put this on. But where we sit now, that was from such a long time ago. We're just going to let it be where it is. We're probably using workstations. We got to use our inventory once in the last video as no matter what. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as is. I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that when you go to equip items, that you have to make sure you know where they're coming from and what type of item they are. With that out of the way, if you're excited to see what's going to happen to our characters in Chapter 3, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop. So we're going to be moving into Chapter 3, so let's go ahead and flip our card over and see the awesome picture on the other side. Oh, that looks really cool. It's kind of like, I don't even know what it's like. It looks like a big altar thing right there. All right, we're going to move that up to the top, and then we're going to go ahead and look at our Chapter 3 card. And it says, Torn Journal, our glory path led us to an abrupt end at an entrance to a room. In the center, a book lay amidst the assorted articles scattered all over the floor. It was instantly apparent that this tome was a journal, and by lucky chance written in my language. The author's carefully penned memoirs descended into frenzied madness as the dates wore on. The work proved to be, beyond a doubt, that the writer was a member of the House of Bliss. I could feel my spine tingling with disquietude as comprehended that the cult could be here, now, at this very moment, lurking in the shadows, weaving their deceitful webs like patient spiders awaiting their prey. The last entries in the diary were cryptic and delusional, and clearly the result of an unhinged mind. There was a particular dreadful chapter missing a few pages, which described a ritual of reanimation in loving detail. So if we look over here at the chapter card, we can do a couple things. One, we can remove 3 stamina to be able to spawn a monster. Not sure exactly why I want to do that, except there could be one reason. The other one is we could actually spend 6 and an essence, and we have to be in melee range to be able to banish a target monster. Now, of course, we do have to add item level 2 to all our cards. That's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about that. We can see some brand new items. That's going to be really cool. Now, if you notice, there's not a locked thing on here, so there's nothing on the card telling us how to progress, so we have to activate one of those chapter spaces like we did in the first chapter. So at this point, we have all these second level cards that I'm going to mix into all our decks, so these decks are going to get quite big. So I'll do the weapons. So as you can tell, our weapon deck got really big. Are we going to find in those level 2 weapons? I hope so, but only time will tell. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do that for all the other decks, but I'm going to do it off camera. Now that I was able to shuffle in those level 2 cards to those decks, we do have to reset these tracks based on our new chapter card. So our spawn rate is now reset to 7, but our horror rate is still 4. It hasn't changed. Now when we left off, we were right in the middle of Artemis's turn. So we're going to continue it. He still has 6 stamina, so he's got an entire turn to go. And with those 6 stamina, you can tell there's not much left to do on this tile. So I believe we're going to move over to this one. The other option we have is to move up here and go off that tile and see if there's something up there we might want to deal with. Now we have to ignite this chapter space. That's going to be our plan. Now to do that, we've got to spend some essence and we have to spend some stamina. So we have to first find some essence because of course our guys only have 2 each, but they also only have 1 hit point. So we're in real big bad shape there. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 over to here. And I believe that's going to be his whole turn. Sadly, he doesn't have enough to be able to use the chest. Now wait a minute, he could go 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it'd be the same to move down here in order to use this. Now, of course, there's a spawn tile down here, and I don't want this monster running right at me. So I think we're going to move over here, and that's going to be the end of his turn. He's going to basically end with having 2 extra stamina. So we're going to go ahead and drop his stamina. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty much going to be over for him. He's got 2 extra, but I can't really do too much because I think I want to get that chest. And with that done, we're going to go into the monster spawn phase, and it's at a 7 right now. So we're going to roll for Artemis first and see what he gets. Oh, we got a 9. Of course, we got a monster. Let's see what we find. Now, since we've seen every monster that this game has to offer at level 1, we're going to go ahead and shuffle this entire deck and draw a new one. All right, with our deck nicely shuffled, we're just going to give it one more little cut here, and we're going to draw a monster and see what Artemis has found. He has found, oh, he found that witch again. Oh, wow, amazing. All right, so we're going to put our witch right here. She's going to gain 1 health. And then we're going to go ahead and put her standee up on the board. So there are 2 spawn spaces, 1 here and 1 here. Now if we spawn her here, it's going to take her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a million places to get to her. But when we go here, it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to him. So we're going to go ahead and spawn our witch right up here. That's where she's going to go. Now, of course, that's going to be really terrible because when this thing activates, check it out, this thing's going to be absolutely devastating. It is going to be able to destroy target action space and then arcane attack with those dice to explorers. Oh, that's going to be horrible. Because there's another thing I should talk about with this card. It says right here, destroy target action space. That's 2 stamina and 2 range to do that. Now I believe after that attack 1 and 2 explorers, I believe that is going to actually affect the entire tile. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below. But I believe this is going to be doing this thing. But then once that happens, it's just going to hit all the explorers. I believe that's how it works. So now we're going to move into Jesse's turn and see what he happens to go. Oh, good. He got a 2. Nothing happens. All we have to do is lower our rating by 1, our spawn rating down to 6 now. Now that's done, we're going to go into our horror phase. And I'm going to have to roll for this right here. I need a 4 or less. I need a 3 or less for nothing to happen. So we're going to go ahead and roll and see what we get. Oh, we got a 3. That's going to be so lucky. All right, I think, again, that's going to save me. Oh, wow, that's absolutely amazing. So all I'm going to do is lower this by 1. And the reason why that's absolutely amazing is because Thrashing Mania is still out there. Check this out. Destroy target action space, and it takes 2 stamina. The monster is going to attempt to do its horror cards before it actually does its actual attack. So, I'm going to show you how good this is going to be. We're going to go ahead and activate our witch. Now our witch again would normally use 2 stamina with 2 range to destroy target action space and then attack me. Well, that's not going to happen because at a melee range, our Thrashing Mania is going to go off. For 2 stamina at melee, destroy target action space. So she's just going to go ahead with 2 stamina to destroy that one and 2 stamina to destroy that one. That's absolutely awesome. So the horror card actually saved me this turn. So we're going to go ahead and put that back over there. And that's the end of our monster phase, which means we're going to be going into a next turn, which means he's allowed to move 1 square if I want to, but I don't want to. I want him to stay there because I do want him to activate this workbench. I might as well get a free item on the deal before we move on. So we're going to reset both of our characters' stamina up to 6. And we're going to have Jesse go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to use that workbench. So I get to draw 3 different cards. I'm going to choose a consumable, an artifact, and I think we might go with another consumable. I'm really looking for some healing here because I think we're going to go with another artifact. These artifacts are kind of cool. We're going to see what we find. All right, let's see. We have found a Singularity Pelorum. For 2 stamina and a essence, I can teleport a monster to yourself. Oh, that's something. Or I can remove the card to teleport any passable space on the map tile. Oh, just basically teleport around. That's pretty cool. What's this? Bequesting Octant. For 3 stamina, 3 an essence, and 3 range. If a target dies this round, the attacker gains an item. Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. On spawn, monster, move up to 1 space. Oh, this is amazing. I'm probably going to be keeping this. What's this? Percolating Stone. I can destroy it to gain 3 health, or on a new round, I roll a 5 and restore. Oh, wow, I want both of these. These are both really good. I don't want this. We're going to get rid of that. I don't care about teleporting around the map. These, though, are amazing. I'm really going to have to figure out what to take. Okay, I figured out what I'm going to do. I am going to keep this one. This is the one I'm keeping, but I'm going to put this back on top of the deck, and I want Artemis to get it because that way he can start gaining items. You know, he has so little items. That's a good way to get items. And he is going to take this thing, and I might almost destroy this immediately, but on a new round I can try to heal. That's so good, so good. And since that was a workbench, I can go ahead and equip this for free. And when I equip this artifact, I'm going to go ahead and put this one back into my inventory. If I want to, I can equip it later, but you can only have one of every type of item equipped, except for weapons. You can have one for each hand. And of course, you can be wearing one armor, but of course, you can put the other armors around it. But you can't have like multiple types of armors or anything. And you can't have multiple artifacts. You only have one of each type of item. So we're going to go ahead and put an explored token there, and he still has 3 movement, 1, 2, 3. He's going to come onto this map as well. Now, if he would have stayed on this map and we would have had to spawn a monster, it would have spawned over on this map. But now that we're moving over here, it's going to spawn over here. So we've pretty much kind of totally ditched this tile. Now, if we ever go off the map over here, this map will slide over this way, and this one will totally disappear. And if there's anything on that tile, any monsters, they'd be banished. And banished is different from actually destroying a monster. If you're able to kill a monster, you gain an essence. If you banish a monster, you don't get anything for it. You don't get any of the essence. So it's always better to kill them unless you don't think you can. Then you can try to run all the way off and try to banish whatever's behind you. But maybe it's not a bad idea to put a monster here and have them try to come back around before I move on to this tile, because the new one's probably going to spawn right down here. I think I am. I think I'm going to stop him right there. So if we do spawn a monster, it's going to be on that tile. So now we're going to be moving into Artemis's turn, and really, I think I have to go take out this witch. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3. I've got that spear, so I'm going to be able to take out the witch. I really wanted to get this chest because we know what's in that chest. It's that artifact that I really want. Well, I don't know. I have to pick 2 cards, but you know I'm going to take that artifact because that thing's awesome. So we're going to go ahead and attack him with our spear. So to attack him, first I have to move 1, 2, 3, and then the spear itself is going to take me 2 stamina, 1, 2, down to 1. So our witch, of course, has 0 defense against normal attacks. So all I have to do is roll a number on this die, and she's dead. So we rolled a 2. Well, at least one die did not fail me. So we have done 1 damage to our witch. She's dead, so we're going to go ahead and gain an essence. So we're going to move our essence up 1, and then we're going to use our last stamina to go ahead and move back towards that chest. Now, if I wanted to, I could have been tricky. This witch rolls a black and 2 white dice. I have a 3 defense against arcane, and if I would have picked up that chest, I know I would have gotten 2 more because I would have equipped that artifact. I don't think there's any reason I would have, no matter what the other cards were. So I could have tried to pick up the chest first before I killed her, but the fact that she's just going to start destroying our action spaces, I couldn't deal with that. I thought that was a pretty bad plan. So we're going to go ahead and move our final move, and that's going to be it. So we're going to remove our standee from the board, move back over 1 square, and put this back into our discard pile. So Jesse's going to go ahead and roll his first, and we're spawn rating 6 right now. So let's see what Jesse rolls. He rolled a 3, so he does not find a monster. So sadly, my plan of spawning a monster on his tile and making sure to have it run a little bit to get to me totally failed. And we're going to move into Artemis's spawn phase. He's going to go ahead and roll the die, and let's see what he gets. He got a 3 as well. Wow, we're not finding any monsters this time. Wow, it's like totally opposite from last time. So we're going to lower our spawn rating again. It's going to move down to a 4. And now we're going to go into our explorer's turn. Oh no, I lied. We have to do the horror event first. So let's roll that die. We need to get less than a 2 or a 1 for no horror event. This could be not much choice. No, I didn't think so. We are going to take on a horror event. So we're going to reset our horror rating to 4. Now we're going to have to move our track up 1. Look at that. The threat has reached its max. So we're going to drop it all the way back down to the end. We have to move our monster level to level 2 and add all those level 2 monsters. So when we move into the next monster level, we have to take all our level 2 monsters. They're all going to be noted down here at level 2. So I've got all these level 2 monsters. We're going to shuffle those along with your destroyed monster deck and put them back into this deck. So we're going to shuffle this all together. And then we're going to put our deck back right there. It got a lot bigger now all of a sudden. So even though this was doing such a good job for us, it's time to get a new horror event. Let's see what we got. Ceiling collapses. Oh, I'm sure that's going to be fantastic. The very complex seemed to turn against us. As we explored, with no untoward action on our part. A chill wind blew through both the room and my soul. A rumbling and screech like a demon cry followed, and debris of corrupted stone and poisoned dirt rained from above, crushing anything beneath it. Destroy action spaces adjacent to explorers. Oh, that's terrible. All right, we're going to put that here. I'm going to put this back over here. That's going to be absolutely devastating. So I have to go ahead and put a token right there on that chest that we were planning to get the artifact from. Now, the only other two chests are here. I could get these two chests. Of course, there is a workbench down there a little bit lower, but that's quite a ways away. 1, 2. So I can still get this turn. It's just going to cost us more stamina to deal with it. Explorer's turn, and I think we're going to start with Artemis. He's going to go 1, 2. He's going to search this chest. He's going to go ahead and put the token down on it. He's going to gain an essence for actually checking the chest, which is really cool. So his essence is now at 4. Now his max essence is 6, so we're okay. We've got a lot more time before we reach the max. And now we get to pick 2 cards. Yep, you guessed it. We're taking an artifact, and we might as well take something else that hopefully is a level 1. We can start cycling these decks. I'm going to take an apparel as well, just to see what it is. You never know. Might be something good, and we can leave it on top of the deck for Jesse. All right, we found an ornithopter. You can move through obstacles. Oh, that would be pretty good. All right, we're going to put that down here. Now, of course, we're just going to take this thing because this thing's awesome. If the target dies this round, the attacker gains an item. That's going to be great. Spawn a monster, move up to 1 space. Oh, it's going to be great. Everything about this is going to be great. He's going to take this. And since he's a mystic, he gets to use the inventory action to go ahead and equip our bequesting octant onto him just like that. So now he has 5 defense when it comes to arcane attacks. And now I have to decide if I want to keep this or discard it. I think I'm going to keep this. Now I can only, it's an upgrade. It's not actually an apparel card. And if I go ahead and upgrade it, I've got to get rid of that thing that allows me to equip my ranged weapon really fast. I wonder if I want to do that. Being able to move through obstacles, I think, is going to be really handy. Or is it? I don't think so. I think we're going to go ahead and discard that. I don't think there's too many obstacles I need to move through. And that is going to take him 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. He's got 1 left. I might as well move 1 more square. So we're going to move 1 more square this way and maybe work on getting that chapter done so we can go on to the next chapter. So with Artemis done, we're going to move into Jesse's turn. And the first thing he's going to do is he's going to take advantage of this. I forgot to do this on a new round. 5 or more, restore 1 health. We get to go ahead and use this at the beginning of a new round. Now, of course, I could remove it completely to restore 3 health, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and roll a die. If we get 5 or better, we got 5 or better, we get to restore 1 health. So Jesse, for the first time in a long time, has 2 health. He's feeling very happy. So Jesse's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, and then he's going to use this explorer action thing right here, and he's going to go ahead and take one of those cards. So we're going to use this to cover it up. We've explored it, and we're going to go draw an explorer card. So let's go ahead and see what we found in our event space. We found within reach. It says, there it lay, just out of reach, or so I thought. I could envision it in my mind as though I were standing right beside it. Then, in a blink of an eye, it was within my grasp. I hadn't even moved. Perplexed, I decided not to question my blessing, as there are far and few in such a wretched place. Let's see here, for 3 stamina and 2 range, activate target chest or event space. Oh, that's going to be really good. So I can activate those things from farther away. Now, of course, I can't see through obstacles with those, but that's okay. I think we're going to probably leave that there for a while. So Jesse has gone ahead and moved 1, 2, 3, and he activated that event space, 1, 2, 3, and he gains an essence for activating that event space as well. Now, of course, we're going to be moving into our monster spawn phase, and we're sitting at a 4, and we have all those level 2s shuffled in, so this is going to be really interesting. So we're going to roll for Artemis first. And he's rolled a 9, so he's going to be finding a monster. And let's see what Artemis has found inside our cave here. What is this? A Tyndalos hound. It has 4 defense and 4 against arcane, 2 health, and 5 stamina. What's it going to try to do? It's going to try to run up to us and arcane attack us. When any explorer loses essence, this monster teleports to that explorer. And it's ethereal. I can't actually target this thing directly. Oh no, I don't know what I'm going to do about that monster. I don't have anything that can fight this thing. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 life on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get it standy, and then we're going to put it on the board. So here he is. He's right here. He's going to spawn right up here. Oh, this is going to be bad. And he's probably going to go eat this guy for breakfast. Now, the good news is, with my bequesting octant on spawn monster, I can move one space. So I am actually going to move right there. I've got a plan. Now, we're going to move our spawn monster thing up to 7 there. So hopefully I don't get one this time. And Jesse's going to go ahead and roll. Let's see what he gets. He got a 4, so nothing happened. But we do have to move our spawn marker down to 6. Oh, it's at 7. I mean 6. There it is, 6 right there. And now we're going to have to go ahead and activate this guy. Now, if we look down here, he's got 2 stamina, and he has to get into melee range to attack. And he's got 5 stamina. So he's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3 over here to attack me. And that's 3 of his stamina, so of course he has 2 left, which is just enough to be able to do this arcane attack. Now the good news is I've got some pretty good arcane defense. Let's see if it pays off. So our death dog here is going to go ahead and roll his 3 black dice against Artemis. And he got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go compare that to his defense. And Artemis does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly, so he's going to take 1 health. No, he's not. He will die, so instead he's going to take the essence that I need to activate the chapter space. Our monsters are done, so we're going to go ahead and move our stamina back up to 6 and move into our hero phase. So we're going to start with Jesse, and I have somewhat of a plan. It's not the greatest. Now, one thing I could do is I could use this trap lever because it will indirectly attack this creature. The problem is the creature has 2 health, so even if I hit him with a trap, I still don't know how I'm going to actually do any more damage to him. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're running right up next to him. It's the only thing I can do right now. I've got somewhat of a plan. We'll see how well this plan works. And that's going to take all 6 of his stamina. Now, again, I forgot about this. I've got to go ahead and roll this die. If I get, a 5 or better, I'm able to gain back a health, which would be absolutely awesome. So I'm just going to roll it right here. Oh, I got a 4. I did not gain anything this time. So now we're going to be moving into Artemis's turn, and he's standing right next to that chapter space. So he's going to use 1 essence to activate the chapter space. And since Jesse is standing right next to him, he can help with this action to activate this chapter space. So Jesse is going to use 2 of his stamina to activate the chapter space, and he's only going to have to use 1. So we've used all 3 essence to activate our chapter space. Plus, it's going to cost us 1, 2, 3 stamina. So I'm going to go ahead and put this token here, and we are actually done with this chapter. So let's see what happens. So we're going to go ahead and flip our card and see what it looks like. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, a meteorite is coming in to get this thing. Wow, I don't want to be anywhere near this. All right, we're going to move that and see what it says here. It says missing piece. The corridors were dank and threatening, and we tried to ignore the growing unease as we wound our way past the softly throbbing walls. Halfway through such passage, we stumbled upon a piece of parchment, and I guessed that this was the missing page from the journal. We squinted in the gloom to make sense of the illustrations. A blue meteor plummeting from the heavens towards a glittering white mountain. I felt my gorge rise as I absorbed the extent of what I was seeing. Were the small tentacles protruding from the blazing sphere just an artist's fanciful deception? Was it? Could it be possible that it was alive? The page also spoke of a secret place far below and gave us detailed instructions of how to reach it from the entrance. For now, it would have to wait as time was running short and we should return to base before nightfall. So here are some of the things happening in this chapter. We can destroy bound events while adjacent to a pit for 1 stamina to restore 3 essence. We don't actually have any of these bound events. We haven't seen a bound event. They're found inside our Explorer cards, but we haven't found any. Also, we have to do this, place exit token. So we get to go ahead and place this exit token. I'm going to put it right here. The active person that did this action gets to choose any place they want to put it. Now, of course, they can't put it on an entrance token. So I can only put it on an I can only exit from one of the 3 spaces on this map. So I'm going to choose down here because it's the closest for both of our guys to get to. And if we can get all of our characters off that tile, it says that we're going to flip the current chapter and resolve the next chapter. Enters play ability. Then we're going to banish all the monsters from the map tiles in play, and the placed map tiles are shuffled and put on the bottom of the map tile deck. So I think I figured out a way to get rid of this guy. We get off the tile. It's about the only thing I got. And since I still have 3 stamina, I could not move. I can't go through people. 1, 2, 3, I guess. Maybe I should have put it over here now that I think about it. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I lied. We're putting it over here. That's a way better plan. I don't know what I was thinking. This is a way better plan because he still had some stamina to get out of here. Now, of course, he's going to be attacked by this thing, but I think that's going to be okay because he's still going to be able to get around it. So that's going to be the remaining 3 stamina that we have. Now, of course, we didn't even get to kill anybody, so I didn't get to take advantage of this. But we're going to get out of here because look at our health. I can't deal with that ethereal monster at all. And speaking of monsters, we're going to be moving into our spawn phase, so we have to roll hopefully a 5 or lower, and then a 4 or lower, and we actually might make it out of here. So I'm going to have Artemis go ahead and roll first. And he got a 7, so of course he has spawned a vile creature. And we're going to move our track back up to 7. Well, I don't think what this is going to be could be any worse than what's on the board right now. Let's see what we found. Oh, we found the deep one again. Actually, this is absolutely terrible. This is the worst time to get this. When this monster hits 8 or more, increase the monster's threat. It's going to automatically increase the monster's threat. Oh, this is terrible. We're going to put this guy down right there. He gets 1 health, and then he automatically moves the monster threat up 1. So our monster threat is already on its way towards the level 3 monsters. And we're going to spawn our deep one right up here, and he's going to probably go and attack Artemis. It's going to be awesome. All right, now it's Jesse's turn. Let's see how he does. He got a 3. All right, that's awesome. No monster. But we do have to move our monster's spawn rating down to 6. Now that we're done spawning our monsters, we have to roll for our horror event. So we're going to go ahead and roll it up. We need a 3, hopefully. Oh, we got a 1. That's awesome. So nothing happened on the horror side. But we do have to move our track down to 3. And now we're going to go ahead and activate our monsters in order of him and then him. So he's going to go ahead and activate first, and it's going to be absolutely terrible. Trust me, it's going to be absolutely horrible. He's got 5 stamina, and his abilities down here is he, for 2 stamina at melee range, does a 3 black arcane attack. It's going to be horrible. Now, when this explorer loses essence, this monster teleports that explorer. Oh, I forgot to do that, but I don't think that actually doesn't even come into play because when I lost my essence, he was already next to us. So he wouldn't have known. There's no place to teleport. He's already standing next to us. So he's going to attack Jesse twice with 3 black dice. Now, these black dice are absolutely terrible. They're really high rolling dice. So let's see what we got. We got a 3, and these 2 are blank. Oh, wow. Let's see if that even hits Jesse. So Jesse does have 2 will, but he also has this equipped right now, which is giving him another 2 will. So he has 4. So that first attack did miss. Oh, that's really good. But he gets to go ahead and roll again. He's got 3 stamina left. And this time he got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I think that's enough to hit him. So like we've said before, Jesse's got 2, plus he gets 2 from his arcane for 4, which means he does get hit for 1 damage. So the next person to activate is going to be the deep one. So let's go ahead and look at his card. He also has 5 stamina, and he is going to attempt to melee attack me, or just, normal attack at 2 range for 2 stamina. All right, let's see if he can do that. Now, of course, these are going to block his line of sight because it doesn't have one of those ignore obstacle attacks. It's just a straight normal range attack. So he has to move up 1. Now he still can't see me. 1, 2, he can't get to this guy. So he's going to move 1 more. Now he can actually attack me. So he's already used 2 of his stamina. So he only has 3 left. So he can only actually attack me 1 time. And he'll be attacking with these 3 dice again. Wow, these monsters get a ton of great dice. He only got a 1. Oh my goodness. Wow, we're super lucky. I had 2 defense. I didn't think there was any way we were going to not get hit from that attack. But we did not get hit. And since we didn't get hit, his second part of his card, when the monster hits, doesn't actually go off. Wow, what a lucky turn. Okay, it's going to be our turn next, and I've got a great plan. Let's run. So our characters are all going to get their 6 stamina back, and we're going to run like crazy. And we're going to start with Artemis because he's actually in the way of Jesse. But before we run, I actually might take a swing at this guy. Mainly because he only has 3 against his both regular attacks and arcane, and he only has 1 health. If I take this guy out, I actually might get like an extra item, which would be great. Also, it's the beginning of turn. Jesse gets to roll to see if he heals himself. So Jesse gets to roll his die, and let's see if he heals himself. He got an 8, so he does get to heal himself 1 health. So he's going to go back up to 2 health. I'm digging this thing. This thing is so good. I'm a big fan of that guy. All right. We're going to go ahead and use 2 stamina to attack with our javelin. It only costs us 2 stamina to make this attack, and if we can kill him, we can activate this, which allows us to, if target dies this round, attacker gains an item max 1. And I actually have the essence to be able to do, oh, wait a minute, no, I can't do this. Look, it's going to cost me 3 stamina to do this as well. Okay, forget that, we're not attacking, we're just going to run. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to get off the board. Wow, that could have been a real fatal error. 1, 2, 3, 4, he's off the board. Now we're moving into Jesse's turn. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, off the board, and we move on to the next chapter. But before we go into our next chapter, we are going to stop the playthrough right here. That's right. Not only are we not going to see the next chapter, I'm actually going to end the playthrough just because I don't want to spoil more of the game. Now, if I get an absolute outcry of people wanting me to continue this, I have no problem doing that. I just don't want to spoil a lot of the game for people that have still not actually received their copies or are starting to play it on their own. I'd like for them to experience the game first before they actually see the rest of this scenario play out. This is really a great place to stop. We made it through the first 4 chapters. We were able to get out for this first part. This game is an absolute blast, and it's really challenging. If you notice, we left with almost really no health and no essence, and that's just the first part of this scenario. I can't even imagine what the second part's going to be like. If you did enjoy the playthrough, please feel free to hit the like and the subscribe, and don't forget the bell symbol so you know when the next playthrough comes out. Also, feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. And thank you to everybody that has helped me produce a fantastic playthrough for this game. There's a lot of rules going on in this game, and it was so much fun to see all the help I got in the comments section. And like I said, if I get an absolute outcry of people that really want to see the rest of this scenario, I have no problem bringing this back to the channel. But for now, we are going to stop here. Jesse and Artemis have made it in, got their little piece of paper that is talking about a ritual, and they got back to their base camp. Will befall these survivors as they move forward in the scenario? Only time will tell. And if you're excited to see what comes next, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop.